Tracie, when I'm with you, something you do bounces me off the ceiling. Tracie, day after day, when you're this way, I get a love and feeling. Come with me.
Hi everybody. This is probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in my entire life. I remember my mum once saying to me, I don't think there's going to be that many people at my funeral. Well, seeing you all here today just proves just what an amazing and special woman she was and just how much she was loved by everybody. The song you came into was chosen by my mum. Probably not something that we'd usually come into to something like this, but as you all knew my mum, she was probably one of the happiest, most upbeat and positive people that you'll ever know. I know a lot of people have called me crazy. A lot of people have said, you're so strong for doing this, and I don't think it's either. I knew my mum better than anybody, and me and my mum had talked about it, and as hard as this is, I just would like you to bear with me because I am absolutely heartbroken stood in front of you today, because this was not just my mum, this was my best friend. My mum was taken from us far too soon, and I know if we had it our way then we'd still keep her here, but unfortunately life is not fair. But if I could say anything about her, she lived more in her 50 years than what most people do in a lifetime. I remember so many times we used to go to Dr. Hogg's oncology office and he used to be, what have you been doing this week, Tracie? And she'd be like, oh, nothing, just cliff diving. And she really did. She did live, and she used to go on holiday as much as she could. My mum never had the easiest of lives, and so many times as a family, we ended up a bit down on our luck. But my mum always rebuilt, and it was only really until I was an adult that was probably one of the best lessons that she ever gave me. And she managed to prove that with the right attitude and determination, you can do anything. And she decided one day that she wanted to take her children on holiday. So she quit her job and she started her own cleaning business. And within 6 months, we were on our first aeroplane to Spain. And I know that's one holiday that I'll never forget. She was the kindest and most caring person that I have ever had the privilege to know. And she had the biggest heart. And her biggest dream was to become a social worker. And I said to her, come on, Mum, we can do this together. And I dragged her down to university and she enrolled on a social work degree. And her dreams were finally becoming reality. She said to me, I'm not there to make friends. She was there because she wanted to give her children a better life, but it was there that she met some of her bestest friends, and I know she loved them so much. It was in her final year, and I'll never forget it. I was at college at the time and I got a phone call. My mum had had a bit of a funny term when she was doing some tests, and I had to go and pick her up. She remained quite silent until we got home. And then that's when I heard those dreaded words, which I don't think anyone ever wants to hear. I have cancer. It broke me immediately. How could that happen? How could that happen to my mum? We were told that she didn't have long and she had to get her affairs in order. And even back then I promised that I'd take care of my brother and sister, and I still stand by that today. Well, that was 9 years ago. She disproved everybody, she disproved the doctors, and she's fought hard for so many years. And the strength that she has shown has been completely inspirational, not just to myself, but to so many, and she was fighting until the very last day. This whole thing feels really surreal, and it kind of doesn't feel like she's gone. When I first started writing this and I first started thinking about what I was going to say, I wanted to make it funny. I wanted to make people laugh because I knew that's what she wanted. But every time I started thinking about what I was going to say, I couldn't. I am completely torn apart by all of this, and the advice that I was given was just to speak from the heart. I wasn't really close to many people growing up. It's always been me and my mum against the world. She was my best friend, and I've always helped to the best I could with being the eldest. And it's gonna kill me knowing that I can't pick up the phone anymore to call her when I need her. And she's not gonna be there when I need support. And I've got no idea who I'm gonna drive to Nancy's for on a Wednesday night to get her Korean rice. And who am I gonna go shopping for during the week? I'm really struggling to find the words to do her justice, to tell you all how amazing I thought she was. But I'm pretty sure you all know that. There was a song that I heard a while ago, and it broke me back then, and I'm really hoping that I can keep it together for just a little bit longer. I love my mum more than anything, and I will miss her every single day. But I just want to take a minute and just remember all the good times that we had together.
I took the supermarket flyers from the windowsill. I threw the day-old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made. Memories of a life that's been loved. Took the Garrett Wilson cards and stuffed animals. Poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down. But Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up. But I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. When God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home. Fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up. Folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, say hallelujah, you're home. Hallelujah, you were an angel in the shape of my mom. You got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings and I know that when God took you back, He said hallelujah. home.
My mum wasn't afraid of dying. We had this conversation so many times. And one of her biggest beliefs was in angels. And I truly believe that's where she's gone. She might have left us and she might have left this world, but I think she's gone where she was always supposed to go. She's finally got the wings that she was supposed to have, and she's gone home. When I started receiving sympathy cards, as much as I appreciated them and I appreciated the thoughts and the words, I hated them because it made it real. It made it real that she wasn't here anymore. But there was one card in particular, and I don't think I could have put the words any better. No words can help us understand. No thoughts can ease the pain. No simple ways to say goodbye and go on with life again. Yet time will bring its special touch and slowly make us start to show that tears are nature's way to heal a broken heart. Then memories of the special times and happiness you shared will show their love lives on with you, though they're no longer there. And I think that's so true. And I know there are no words which can make this any better, and there are no words which are going to bring her back. There's so many of us which are hurting, and there's so many of us which are going to miss her. And I know time's not going to heal it, but I know that it's going to slowly start to help heal. Before I carry on, I want to know if there's anybody else that wants to come and say a few words. There's another poem that my mum asked me to read out. We weren't religious exactly, but I think she found comfort in the words, and I know I did as well after reading them. It's called Footprints in the Sand. I'm not sure if any of you have heard it before. One night I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Many scenes from my life flashed across the sky. In each scene, I noticed footprints in the sand. Sometimes there were 2 sets of footprints. Other times, there was only one. This bothered me because I noticed that during the low periods of my life, when I was suffering from anguish, sorrow, or defeat, I could only see 1 set of footprints. So I said to the Lord, "You promised me, Lord, that if I followed you, you would always walk with me. But I have noticed that during the most trying periods of my life, there has only been 1 set of footprints. Why, when I needed you the most, have you not been there for me?" The Lord replied, "The years when you have seen only 1 set of footprints, my child, is when I carried you." My mum was the strongest woman that I knew. And 2 weeks before she passed, she had a really bad day. Even the nurses thought that that was the end. But that wouldn't be my mum, would it? The day after, when I turned up, she was out of the bed and she was sat in a chair. And it was only a few days after that, we took her out to home base where she bought some plant pots. It was that strength and that positivity and that determination, which I think I'm always going to remember. Because even though her footprints are no longer by our side, she will always be with us and she'll keep us strong when we don't feel like we can go on anymore. I want to take a moment to say thank you from my mum to some amazing people, because there's some more angels which are walking among us. The nurses that were there every day, looking after her and making sure she was comfortable. Anne, I know you weren't in my mum's life for very long, but she absolutely adored you. And finally, my Auntie Sharon and Adele, who spent the last few weeks and the last months being there by her side, being there for everything that she needed. Another 2 incredibly selfless women who remind me of my mum. And I know that my mum loved you just as much as I do. if not more. I still don't feel like I've done it justice, and I feel like I should have said so much more. And as hard as it is today to stand in front of everybody, there's just not the words to tell you how great she is. She has spent a decade fighting, and that strength is always going to inspire me. I know the one thing that she found it really difficult to do was to leave her children and her grandchildren behind. She did everything for us, and she was so selfless, and she would have given you your last penny if she had it. And even when she could no longer go to work anymore, that's when she took up craft work, and she still didn't earn any money from that because she just gave everything away, just to see the smile on somebody else's face. And that's what I'll always remember. The last song that I chose today was particularly special for my mum and my sister Libby. Every time they were out and they were driving around in the car, they used to be singing along to this song together. And I know it means a lot to her. I don't feel like this is a goodbye because I know and I believe that she's still out there somewhere. I have to. And I know that she wanted more than anything for everybody to carry on living and to carry on enjoying their lives and following the hearts and the dreams, because we never really truly know how long we're going to be here for. And if my mum has shown anything, you can do anything, no matter what gets thrown at you, because my mum did. I know that some days are going to be really difficult, and some days I'm not going to know what to do. But I know that if I've got anything from my mum, I know it's that strength. And I know that it's going to keep me pushing forwards, and we're all going to stick together. And I'm still going to follow my dreams because I know that I want to make her proud.